Hello. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Gaitan and welcome to Living for My Birdies. If you haven't noticed, it's been quite busy here, which means I have not been uploading any videos because we have been zooming in on our homeschool curriculum and making sure that we're understanding and we're grasping all the new changes that have taken place. So today's video will be about these homeschool curriculums that we are currently using for our core classes and how I am grouping them for individual use as well as a group use for my kids. If you have a chance, go ahead and grab a snack. Make sure that you are able to grab something to eat, drink, because I am going to be digging deep and diving into each curriculum and tell you the things that I do enjoy and what I would be liking to change about them. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Get that drink, get that snack, and come on in. So to start off, I made it a priority for us to learn a new language. I don't know if you know my background, but let me just give you a quick recap. I was born in the beautiful country of Haiti and migrated to the US at the tender age of 2. So French was my primary language and then Creole. As I got older and went into the school system, English became my secondary language, which soon became my primary language. Over the years, I stopped using Creole as my primary language and been focusing more on English. As my kids became older and started meeting more family members, I've noticed that I have not done a great job with including Creole as a language. So here we are. We are using this book as a dictionary as well as a source for us to learn Creole. And I mean from the basics, from enunciation to spelling. And if you haven't known, there are different versions of words in the Creole language. So my kids are learning how to spell the words and as well as enunciate them. So this is what we're using, the Haitian Creole Dictionary. It is actually my first Haitian Creole Dictionary. Make sure that you check this out. I did purchase this item on Amazon. And as you can see, there are different pictures, words, and different ways of spelling. Again, my kids are learning 2 ways right now of spelling Creole words from English to Creole. We're loving this. We're going about 1 to 2 words a week. We are also trying to implement the words that we're learning into our language. So if I ask the kids a question, they already know a few things. But if I ask them a question like, let's say airplane, and they're like, avion, I'm like, okay, let's try to use that in a complete sentence. We're really doing a great job with this one, and I'm enjoying it so much. What I would have loved is to maybe have a CD version of this so I can just plug it into our laptop so the kids could actually hear a person enunciating the words. Other than that, great tool that we are currently using for our language. So again, my first Haitian Creole Dictionary. All right, so Johnny, how do you say album in Creole?
Album.
All right, can you go ahead and spell album for me? Give me one version.
Yeah.
Go ahead and spell it.
ALBOHM.
And how do you say it?
Album.
Good job. All right, Zaya. How do you say album in Creole?
Album.
And can you spell album for me?
Sure. ALBOM.
Good job.
Thank
and
you.
How do you say it?
ALBOM.
How do you say it?
Album.
Good job. Now for writing, we have taken it up a notch and we are working on cursive writing. I know that it is not a focus in the public school system, but I do believe that it's important that we are focusing on learning how to sign our names, learning the manuscript writing, and the beauty of cursive. So we are currently learning and using handwriting, learn cursive. It is very, very simple, straight to the point, basically how I learned how to write in cursive, and our kids are really doing a great job. We do about 1 letter, sometimes 3 or 4 a week, depending on how busy we are. And then towards the end, they are our actual words. So you can see that the kids are now implementing each letter into words, and they are really, really, really loving this one. I don't have any negatives to say about this one. It's straight to the point, which I really enjoy. It's the traditional cursive writing, which I believe that every child should know how to sign their names, making sure that they're knowing how to use a signature instead of just writing their name in bold script writing. So we're really enjoying this one. I highly recommend it, and we're going to continue using it. I do now have a additional source that I'm using for 2 of my kids for spelling, because I want them to excel and have a little bit more work with their spelling. So I am currently using Spelling UC. It was highly recommended by a few local moms in my area, and so far so good. My kindergartner and my 5th grader are using. This is my 5th graders, and so far so good. The only con that I have personally about it is the fact that it's really focusing on like US history, and I did not want it to be focused on just the US history version. And I wish that I could find a version in her age bracket that was not US based, but so far this is all I could find. We are enjoying it. She is definitely working slowly at her pace, which I really, really approve, because she's understanding that taking your time, enunciating a word and spelling it how you're enunciating it is very important. So far, a lot of it is repetition, which I believe is a great way for her to memorize her spelling, and really great. Other than, the fact that it's really focusing on like US history, I would highly recommend the book. If I could find a different version that is not just focusing on that, please let me know in the comments section so I can check it out. So far, she's enjoying it. My kindergartner is enjoying his version as well. So again, Spelling UC, this is part 2. She's actually currently on part 1. All right, so this is our spelling. Okay, so now let's get into geography. Now with geography, we're currently using our 50 states. This is a really interesting curriculum which does go over each and every state in the US. Not only do I enjoy that it does go over, but it does give you a little bit more information, such as the state birds, state flowers, and really the history behind the US. Now, the only thing, or I'm gonna say the negative, is the fact that it is a religious-based curriculum, which a lot of people may not feel comfortable with. So there is religion material that is mentioned in this curriculum. Now, I am okay with it in this instance. So if you're not looking for a religious-based curriculum, then don't get this one. So if you are looking for it, this is the one for you. On top of this, we are using the National Geographic Kids Atlas. We were gifted this actual atlas, and the kids really enjoy because it supplements what we are learning using the 50 states. And the kids love going through each and every state, looking at some cool, interesting facts, some very particular facts, as well as like some traffic laws that are just like very interesting. Like, what? A moose? You have to let a moose cross 5 miles, from where you are parked. Some interesting things. So we use this as a supplement, and I can't just go and just let that be it. So we also were told about this amazing book. It's 50 Trailblazers of the 50 states. So with every state that we are covering, I look into this book and continue supplementing and learning about a particular trailblazer that came from that state. We are loving this. There are so many trailblazers in our history that have accomplished so much and come from different states that I had no clue about. So we are using this. Loving it, highly recommend it. Not only for geography, I would recommend that you do get this book in general. It's written by Howard Megdal and illustrated by Abby Lawson. The illustration is so hilarious too. It's pretty animated if you really look at it. This one is about Hubert Humphrey in South Dakota. We have already covered quite a few states and quite a few trailblazers, so we are really enjoying this one as well for geography. Highly recommend it. Now let's talk about science. Science, you know, before homeschooling, science really did seem intimidating for me, even though I have a science background in regards to like health science. Just going back into the science elements of things were like brand new. So I was really it took a long time for me to find a curriculum that I felt comfortable with, not only for teaching, but also that I can experiment along with the kids that was not like dragging. So this is actually what we use as a group unit for my kids. So the kids perform these activities and go through each and every lesson as a group, which has been amazing. We're currently using Real Life Science. So it's Real Science Odyssey Life Level 1. I cannot emphasize how fun this is. Not only are the lessons very much geared towards like the specific age group, but it's also fun. We are using different items from our house, simple things that you could just find at the grocery store, nothing like extreme. We have not, you know, we did not need to use a microscope as of yet. So we're looking forward to that element, but just today we learned about the circulatory system and the blood cells and the blood model. So the kids actually completed this project, which was like super fun, super simple, and it was a great activity that they simply enjoyed. And it wasn't a lot on my end reading, and it was very detailed, broke down every single element. It really is a great way for you to use the materials. They give you the lab sheets that you can just print out and continue on. I love it because I prepare the lessons in advance by all of the like items I need, or just go right into my pantry and just grab it as I go. You know, crayons, simple things that you would need. The only thing like I would say that I won't say I did not like, but if you're not like a hands-on person, this is not for you. You have to be hands-on using this curriculum, which did bring me out of my comfort zone, but I do appreciate that because it did allow me to be able to see different areas that I really should not have felt uncomfortable with, and now I'm a lot more comfortable with it. So again, we were working on our respiratory system before, which was pretty cool. We learned about red blood cells, and that was like interesting because we used red hot candies. That was a great way for the kids to understand what it really is about. We also learned about white blood cells. We use white lima beans. So again, simple ingredients, simple elements that you can learn and use yourself in order for you to use this curriculum. Highly recommend it. We're using, like I mentioned before, Life Level 1, and as we complete this one, we'll go on to Life Level 2, and there's so many different versions. I'm using the Real Science Odyssey.
Do I go like that or do I?
However you think it goes. And what is that body part?
The humerus.
All right.
How do I
Look
do
at your
it?
example.
Do I go like that?
Now for social studies, I majored in Africana studies in my undergrad years, and I mean, I just try to include that in everything in my life. And when I was looking for a specific social studies curriculum, I could not find one that I felt was like the one. So I just went ahead and just took bits and pieces from everywhere. And I came across Heritage Mom, who actually has a unit study that is based on Amazing Africa. She does a great job providing supplemental information such as books, videos, and other materials. And we actually, it's a printout, so it's a PDF version. We printed this out, and the kids actually make a map, and they are covering each and every country as we have covered it. The unit is like well made. I am highly pleased with what a great job Heritage Mom has done. We are taking our time with each one because not only are we using each and every country as we're learning about it from Heritage Mom, we're complementing with books, activities, so we can get more in depth with what we're learning. One of the books that she has recommended is Africa, Amazing Africa. This is a great book. I highly recommend you getting it just for your library itself because it's so much great information. The illustration is so adorable, so it definitely catches your eye. This is one about Ghana, Guinea. Again, great information for you to learn about. I always emphasize to the kids, you know, we hear this quite often when we ask, like, is Africa a country? And the kids used to be like, it is a country. I'm like, no, baby, it's a continent. So again, it's more about reiterating, learning, and really putting out those myths and taking out those myths out of our minds that comes to Africa, because Africa is so wide, so much information that you can learn about, and this is a great way for you to actually start. Again, highly recommend Heritage Mom, Amazing Africa. It's a PDF version, print it, keep it going, and add supplements into it as well. Now for Kwanzaa, we made it a priority to gift our children books as one of their Kwanzaa gifts, and we did our research and made sure that we were able to look for books that were particularly in their interests. It was great because the kids were like, we got books, and I'm like, yeah, but it's books that you can relate to and that you can actually be able to have more interest in. One of the books is actually The Arcade and the Triple Token, and Rashad Jennings, highly recommend this author. Go ahead and look for all of his books. Great read. My 8-year-old is currently reading it and enjoying it. He is taking his time. So once he is done, we're planning on continuing on with the series. Very great read. I highly recommend going and looking for authors and actual characters and illustrations of children of color, not only African American children, but different children of different backgrounds. Our kids are definitely thriving and enjoying the books that we got them so they could actually do their reading, independent reading, and book reports using these books. So I know it was a lot of information that I just shared with you. And again, it was just a recap of what we've been using, what we do like, what we don't like about the curriculums and the supplementary materials that we're using this current 2021-2022 school year. Now, again, these are all my, my own summary of things. These are all my opinions. Nothing, that I said is from anyone else. But if you do have any questions, please do not hesitate to leave them in the comments. Any recommendations, I am highly open to any of that, and I am more than welcome. You're more than welcome to join in a conversation and share the curriculum that you're using with your family, what you do like, what you don't like. If you're using anything that I'm using, how do you like it? What are some things you don't like about it? I want to thank you again, and I want to thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to make sure that you click on that notification bell so you can get all the notifications of our upcoming videos, because we got a lot going on and we'll be uploading that. And make sure that you like, subscribe, and share my videos. I am really going to be focusing in more on our videos and sharing a lot more of our homeschooling journey with you. I thank you so much for joining in and taking this ride along with me. Again, I hope you enjoyed my video, and thank you for coming.